Good afternoon. My name is Lori Rich Levinson, Chair of the Broward County School Board. I thank you all for being here as the Commissioner of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Nikki Fried, is announcing the special appointment of a Broward County Public Schools teacher. Before I bring Ms. Fried up to the podium, I want to thank my fellow school board member, Debbie Hickson, for being here, as well as State Senator Lauren Book, State Representative Christine Hunchofsky, and Broward County Commissioner Nan Rich. We appreciate you all being here for this special occasion. So now, without further ado, Commissioner Nikki Fried.
And good afternoon, and thank you for everybody for being here on this very exciting occasion. As the first female ever elected as Commissioner of Agriculture, I'm always especially excited when I have the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the accomplishment of Florida's women. From our annual Women of the Year in Agriculture Award to our Division of Aquaculture's recent Women of the Water Conference to appointing women in the Florida Commission on the Status of Women. For 31 years, the Florida Commission on the Status of Women has been raising awareness on the issues, statewide recommendations to make sure that we are looking at ways to help and impact girls and women. Now, more than ever, it is essential to elevate the voices of women in our state and to fight to protect our rights. While there is rightfully a lot of conversation right now on how our recent devastating Supreme Court ruling taking away women's rights will negatively impact the well-being of current and future generations of women, another issue that does not have enough attention is the disproportionate impact that gun violence has on women and girls in Florida. Every month, an average of 57 women in the United States are shot and killed by an intimate partner. And the presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation makes it 5 times more likely that a woman will be killed by an abusive partner. Thankfully, just last month, Congress came together to pass the most comprehensive gun safety package in nearly 30 years, including closing the boyfriend loophole to help in domestic violence situations to better protect unmarried women and intimate partners who do not live with the abuser. But we know that we need to do so much more to prevent gun violence both within the home and across our communities, including protecting our students at school. A student's biggest concern should be a potential pop-up quiz, not an active shooter. It is all of us who create a school environment that prioritizes safety while providing students a creative and free environment to which to learn and to grow. This is why educators like Tracy are so valuable to our state, and her work promoting school safety is so important and a necessary voice to add to the Commission on the Status of Women. Because who knows better the concerns facing our schools and our students than the people who work to educate them every single day. As Tracy's work demonstrates, even in the face of violence and unequal rights, women and girls are determined to thrive. At every turn, women like Tracy continue to overcome adversity to protect and care for themselves, their families, and their communities. Throughout history, it has been women who have sustained movements for economic, racial, and gender justice, continuing work towards a safer, more equitable society for all of us. And I am honored to be joined by many great female leaders here today as we announce the appointment of Tracy Merlin, a Broward County educator and outspoken community activist for women's rights, school safety, and gun violence prevention, and the co-founder of the Honor with Action Coalition to the Florida Commission on the Status of Women. Congratulations, Tracy. But before I give you the floor, I know that there is a lot of women and a lot of people here who also we want to recognize, your work on this well-deserved appointment. So now it is my honor to invite our Florida Senate Democratic leader, Lauren Book.
So, first of all, I want to say to Stella, who's watching from camp, we love you. And if you think Miss Merlin is great, you guys wait till you see Stella. I get choked up talking and thinking about the incredible impact that Miss Merlin has on her community, on her classroom, but on somebody like me. I grew up in a home where there was a lot of trauma and a lot of mental health struggles. In fact, I didn't know that women worked sometimes out of the home. I had a mom who struggled with substance abuse and mental health challenges. When I see the work that Miss Merlin does, when I see how much she gives of herself to her community, to her daughter, to her students, it makes me proud and pushes me to want to be a better version of myself as a mom, as an advocate, as a community organizer, and as a human being. I don't know if she has an off switch because she is constantly moving. And I have had the extreme honor of visiting her classroom on more than one occasion. And I can assure you that there are students abound that are going to be going to incredible, incredible places. They are bright stars and they are safe and learning and growing an environment that only Miss Merlin can create. I also want to say, not just to Stella, but to Tracy's mom, who I've had the opportunity of meeting and spending time with at countless rallies over the last several months. We are in great hands with this generation of women who will continue to advocate on behalf of Stella, my daughter, and generations of children. And so for that, I am so honored, extremely pleased, and so proud to be your friend and to be here today.
We're not done. Thank you, Senator Book, for your leadership in fighting for all Floridians in Tallahassee, from women's rights to common sense gun safety measures. We are also honored here today to be joined by Representative Christine Hontowski, not only another strong female in Tallahassee, but also a leading advocate to keeping our students safe from gun violence, having seen the devastating impact of such horrific mass shootings can have on a community when she was mayor of Parkland at the time of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas shooting. Representative.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Freed. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here to recognize Tracy Merlin, who, if you don't know her, I'm not sure where you've been. She's amazing. And if you ever meet Stella, you'll know why Tracy's so amazing. I met Tracy after the shooting at Stoneman Douglas. Tracy decided that something like this could never happen again, and it activated her in the gun violence prevention movement. It activated her in school safety and with mental health. And anytime something happens in the community, Tracy's texting, "What are we doing now? What can I do to help?" And I don't know where she gets the energy to do all this, but I know the passion comes from making a difference. So there's kind of been a movement to keep women, quote unquote, in their place. And I think being here today is incredibly special because women stepping up, we continue to do the work. We might seem a little frightening when we are empowered, but we're not going anywhere. And Tracy is the ultimate example of somebody who puts family first, community first, and works hard day in and day out to be a wonderful example to her daughter, to her students, and to make this world the place that we can all be proud of, and the place where we can all raise our families and our communities in a safe, equitable, and just in a good way. So Tracy, I'm incredibly proud of you. Congratulations. I can't think of anybody more deserving, and I'm so honored to be here. I'm honored to call you my friend, and I'm honored to call her someone that I look up to. And if I don't look and I don't know something's going on, I know I'll get a text from her reminding me we have a lot of work to do. Thank you. Congratulations, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to turn it over to Broward County Commissioner Nan Rich, who has a long history of public service and leading voice in the fight for localities to be able to enact gun safety measures appropriate for their communities. So, I don't even know what else to say about Nan. We are all here because of you. We stand on the shoulders of your generation and what you have been able to do for this community, for our state, and it's women like you is why we are all here today. Thank you for your continued lifetime of leadership to the state. You have been such a trailblazer and somebody that all of us can look up to. So, man, that's yours.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. You know, it's when I heard you talk, Senator Book, kind of about the generations, I had to think about Tracy and her mom. You know, that old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And right? Okay. And that's one case. And I'm glad to say that I'm hoping, and I think that people feel that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to my daughter, Lori. So just wanted to mention that. And Commissioner Freed, you are so right. The common sense gun issues have been my issues for as long as I can remember. For 12 years in the Florida legislature, for the first few years, I filed bills over and over again, closing the gun show loophole, all the things we know have to happen. And by the way, not just mental health, and I have to say that because every time I hear someone talk about it's about mental health. Yes, it is about mental health, but it's about every country in this world has issues with mental health, all the industrialized countries for sure. But the one thing different is they don't have weapons of war available to just about anybody, millions and millions and millions of them. So I just want to say I really met Tracy through my daughter. Yes. And she told me what an incredible activist you were, what a fabulous teacher you were, and she was so right. And I'm so proud that I'm here today to share this moment with you and your family. You know, you're going to make a fabulous addition to the Commission on the Status of Women. The status of women is supposed to be, and sometimes is, aimed at improving the well-being of Florida women and girls. They collaborate. They raise awareness. They educate, particularly around issues that are facing Florida's women and families. They talk about the importance of voting. I noticed on the website that they were celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. And I'm sure that by the time you get finished, they're going to be focusing a lot more on common sense gun issues. I want to just say that I had the privilege of being with Commissioner Freed had invited a group to come and talk about the firearm prevention laws that we're trying to battle in Tallahassee. Still waiting for the Florida Supreme Court to do whatever they're going to do. But I have to tell you that the speaker that day that motivated me the most was Tracy. She had just, I think the previous day or earlier in the day, had said goodbye to her second grade students because it was the summer. And, you know, she was so emotional about trying to talk about explaining to second graders how to keep safe. And that just stuck with me. And when I was called and heard about this, I said, this is absolutely the best person to be placed on the Florida Commission on the Status of Women, and I'm looking forward to great things from Tracy. And again, I will join my daughter and Senator Book and Commissioner Freed and everyone here that considers you to be a friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. It is my great honor to introduce Tracy Merlin, the co-founder of the Honor with Action Coalition and the newest appointee to the Florida Commission on the Status of Women. A fellow South Florida native and Gator graduate, Tracy has been an educator. I had to throw that in. Has been an educator in Broward County for over 23 years. Twice nominated for the Broward County Gifted Teacher of the Year Award. Beyond the life-changing work she has done in the classroom, educating the future leaders of our state, Tracy is an outspoken community activist for women's rights, school safety, and gun violence prevention. Tracy spearheaded the campaign for Broward County schools to include safe gun storage information for parents and was the former educator lead for Broward Moms Demand Action. Most recently, Tracy co-founded the Honor with Action Coalition, which brings together different gun violence prevention organizations, and is a member of the Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence, working with other educators to address gun violence in schools and in the community. Those in Broward County see Tracy regularly at community advocacy events, but you may also have seen her education methods showcased in the cover of the New York Times last January, or in the Build Back Better advertisement discussing the importance of the federal bipartisan infrastructure law in helping provide accessible internet services to all students. As you see, Tracy will be an asset to the Florida Commission on the Status of Women. And I first had the opportunity of meeting Tracy when I was running in 2018. And so our paths crossed during that time period. I didn't know what an impact that Tracy would have on my life, but you have truly been an inspiration to anybody, as you've just heard the words of so many women around you, how you inspire us to be better, to get up every day, to fight for what is important, to never back down, and to always remember who we're fighting for. And Tracy, you made such a huge impact on me when I was running. I couldn't think of a better person to be serving in this role as one of my last appointments as Commissioner of Agriculture. So Tracy, without further ado, the floor is yours.
I was told to take a moment and take it all in. The same advice was given to me at my wedding. It's good advice. First, I just want to say, before I thank everyone, as I look around the room, this is a family. The people who are standing in front of me, to my side, to my other side, these are not strangers who show up for a photograph at an event. This is family. These are the people in the community, the friends, the loved ones, who have helped mold and shape me to be here today. And I take this very seriously. Commissioner Freed has noticed me showing up for years, helping candidates at rallies and forums. She knows the work that has been put in. Thank you, Commissioner Freed, for seeing me, for recognizing the changes needed to help our state, and for making gun violence prevention one of your top priorities. I have not done this alone. I stand here surrounded and supported by a phenomenal group of women activists and elected leaders who have paved the way. I am so grateful for their support. Many of these elected officials have been guest speakers in my second grade classroom. Raise your hand if you've turned up. There we go. Okay, just checking. Representative Hunchovsky has lifted her community out of one of the darkest days in modern history. She has nurtured, advocated, created legislation to help our state. And she shows up. Senator Book has been an outspoken force for the safety of children and women. She created and developed a crucial safety program, Lauren's Kids. And I'm proud to say that every Broward classroom is using this program. She's a superhero. Senator Rich was the first to receive the proud F- rating from the NRA. She is a leading champion on social justice issues and has supported education, women, and children for years. Broward County School Board Chair Lori Rich Levinson always encouraged me to stand up for what I believe in and to use my voice. She has led the critical initiative to have debate in our schools. You want those kids coming out speaking. And school board member at large Debbie Hickson. She was one of the first people I met in this very building when I showed up to a public meeting years ago. Debbie has worked tirelessly to improve our county. This group of empowered women includes some of the most resilient gun violence prevention activists you can find. These women show up, do the work, and keep going. I want to highlight my friend Amaros Butler, Rashi, survivor mother of Mendel, her forever 17-year-old son. Amaros has worked tirelessly to get Mendel's rule and law in place in memory of him, and to help other families. Sitting with your family means everything to me. She is still searching for answers, and we're going to get them. As a co-founder of Honor with Action Coalition, a group that brought together gun violence organizations in the wake of Parkland, it is my privilege to highlight and thank the co-founders. These are the change makers. Angela Weber. Angela is also the Director of Community Engagement for Newtown Action Alliance. The work she does on her laptop at all hours of the night is just astonishing. Debbie Miller, another amazing Broward employee, the president of Florida Giffords Gun Owners for Safety, and yes, you heard that right. She is a force. Stacy Wesh, the Brady United SEC legislative lead. And of course, our fellow educator, Maria Clementi. Heather Chapman, Lisa Balbone, and Amy Newberry are also co-founders who were unable to be here today. And just walking in, my dear friend, Susan Kennedy. Let me tell you a little bit about Susan. Come on up, Susan. Susan is the founder of Bullets for Life, who shines a needed light on community gun violence. But the work that she does goes beyond the bracelets. She helps those survivor families after devastating loss. I'd also like to thank the other electeds and representatives who have come today. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. It's summer. I'm sort of on vacation. Now I'm going to talk to you about my very best friend since I was 3 years old. This is Mindy Jones. She is the Director of Family Law at Coast to Coast Legal Aid of South Florida. She is also the former president of Broward Domestic Violence Council, and we have been friends forever. Our conversations go from what's the next best restaurant to what do we do in this situation and how do we change laws. None of this would be possible without the ongoing support of my family. My brothers, thank you for your generosity and for teaching me to stand up for myself. My dad, a Navy veteran who provides daily encouragement and debate. And my mother, a former public school teacher who has modeled what making real change in the world looks like and has taught me to raise a strong girl. Thank you to my amazing husband for always supporting me and picking up the slack I leave behind. Thank you to our outspoken daughter and activist in training, you may have heard of her, who is currently at sleepaway camp. We love you. Did you see his face? Did you see the face of the 2-year-old little boy, Aiden, separated from his parents during the Highland Park 4th of July parade? Both of his parents were killed. His grandparents had to come pick him up. Did you hear about the father, Alexander Sandoval, who put his sons and dog in a dumpster so he could run back for the safety of the rest of his family? Only to see the parade route riddled with dead and injured. This past weekend, there were 11 mass shootings in America. You probably only heard about 1 or 2. In Orlando, a sound mistaken for gunshots sent hundreds of those gathered for fireworks into a stampede to get away from the danger. We are in the middle of a crisis of epic proportions. Gun violence has taken over our nation and our state. I will no longer read the locations of where these things happen because no place is exempt. We do not deserve to live like this, nor do we have to. We have to take responsibility to keep the people of this state safe. School shootings and growing community gun violence cannot be the new norm. We must refuse to accept it. We have the ability to enact life-saving policy and prevention. The number one cause of death for children in the United States is gun violence. This is not an act of God. This is gun violence. We need to address this crisis now. For those who choose to be armed, responsible gun ownership is possible. We are hearing the collective cry for common sense gun reform, universal background checks, safe storage laws, red flag laws, laws on ammunition sales, banning assault weapons, and dozens more. Let me repeat, safe storage laws now. 76% of school shootings happen from unsecured weapons in the home. Florida needs to read the room. Permitless carry is blatantly not the answer. Sending thoughts and prayers is not the answer. As an elementary classroom teacher for the last 23 years, I can tell you what we're doing to our kids. We are traumatizing the next generation of Florida's youth. We need to ensure the safety of our kids and communities. This is our final wake-up call. We have been dormant as a state for too long. It is time for change. Serving as a commissioner will enable me to educate others in a way that we can combat gun violence together. The Florida Commission on the Status of Women's mission statement is to enrich the ability of Florida women and girls to achieve their fullest potential. They need to be safe to do so. I'm excited for this opportunity to serve. I look forward with working with the esteemed women on this commission, just as I have worked with the remarkable women in this room. It seems that we've woken Mama Bear. Women and anyone who wants to can do anything that they plan or set their minds to, and I am an example of that. It is important to educate others on gun violence prevention. We have the ability to come together and get this done for Florida. We all deserve better. And as a school teacher, I can tell you, the second graders of today carry much more weight on the shoulders of their little bodies than they did years ago. We have to do something now. Women, girls, be unapologetic in your fight. Don't compromise. Use your voice. Lift it up. It is time to change the world. Yes.
And you see why we appointed her. You know, Tracy, you embody everything that we want our daughters to be. You embody everything that us as electeds thrive to be. And you push us to be better in every aspect of our lives. Look at the women that came here today to support you from all walks of life, from different types of elected positions, to your best friend from elementary school, to women that you've met along the way. You empower and embolden us. And your words encourage us. Encourage us to keep fighting, to keep standing up. Because of people like you who are in this fight, we know that we can create a society that is better for the next generation. And we are going to do it standing now on your shoulders. And I can tell you, I have been to those Status of Women meetings, and I'm sure some of you have as well. You are going to rock them. And I am so excited to see that. But I also wanted to, before we left, of course, to thank all the electeds that have been here today, those that spoke, as well as, Debbie Hickson, thank you for being here today as well. Your presence, both of yours, is a testament of the work that Tracy has been doing here in our school boards, in our community. And I cannot thank everybody for being here, your family for showing up and being part of this. You truly are an inspiration for all of us, and I'm just so excited and so confident that you are going to make not just an impact on the status of women, but I'm excited to see where your political career goes from here. So thank you all for being here. I don't know if there was any press that had any questions, but I think that this speaks for itself. So thank you.